Now this is more like it. The weather, 60, 70, no wind, perfect to do some planning, play some golf, just lay out in the lawn. It is a Monday, the 18th of April. Time for another edition of Weber This Week. Today, a longtime friend of mine joins us in the studio. Yes, Mrs. America out of New York. Jessica Lahr from Geneva is in. Host of things that she's doing with the community and all the things involving her family. We'll get to talk to Jessica. And, of course, I would not be myself. Good morning to you. Welcome to Weber This Week. I know if you had a great weekend like I did. I was telling Jessica and Jimmy that I played golf 4 straight days. Today is an off day. And sorry, Jimmy, I won't be down at the club today. I'm going to be laying on the couch trying to recover and take aspirins every 3 hours. Good morning, everybody. But I will have comments on a couple of topics. The omission of Tyler Norris as a Fab 5 player, which really sticks in my craw. We'll get to that later in the show. And also I have a comment about Ron Elcock, the mayor of Geneva, who somehow has made a decision to put the constituents and the citizens of Geneva that want to speak, that always used to speak at the beginning of the council meetings, now he's pushed them back to the back of the bus. Not a good idea. I'll comment on that at the end of the show. Without further ado, it's always good to bring in a good friend, Jessica Lahr. Jess, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
The last time I saw Jess, we were exchanging passes. We went to the UPS store in Geneva.
Yes.
I was mailing a package to my nephews, and she was doing something as well. So,
yes.
Jess, a lot going on in your life. Of course, talk about the modeling. I see I'm a Facebook friend, which you haven't got rid of me yet.
No.
And I certainly appreciate everything you're involved in. Let's talk about the modeling. I see you're always doing these bits and pieces. It's got to be a busy time for you.
Yeah, I have an amazing agent out of Syracuse, one of the best agencies in upstate New York, and they've booked actually my husband and I for work. We do a lot of work commercially, print and video, so I've been busy this spring doing some interesting things, working with some interesting things.
Right.
You never know what you're going to be signed up for.
But you never know, and I think the combo of you and the husband is great, and I think that's neat, and it's a passion of yours, and
it is.
Certainly, you were made for this, and certainly you have an opportunity to express yourself via the camera, and you do it well. So
thank you.
We should point out, I see your husband in the paper. I've never met him personally. I got to do that someday.
Yes,
Chad.
you do.
Chad's involved in a lot of things. Is he sort of a construction guy that understands the business of apartments, and what's his exact role there?
He is not at all a construction guy.
All right.
But he's very passionate about helping people, providing safe and beautiful homes to families, and we have been able to provide that for residents of Geneva for the past 13 years now.
Okay.
So we are buying these buildings, or we have been buying these buildings that need help, and
then
renovating them.
And they look nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're works of art. We have a team that makes it happen, I should say, and we're so grateful to have them and to be able to do what we do to provide these safe and beautiful homes to people in Geneva. So.
And you said you're coming up on your 10th wedding anniversary?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's so crazy. I can't believe it.
When is the exact date of that anniversary?
June 9th.
June 9th.
And we actually started dating on June 9th, so it'll be exactly 12 years that we've been together. But it seems like forever ago. Like I can't remember my life before that, but at the same time, it's just the opposite. It's just crazy. So
and by the way, a good friend of ours who works here, Tara Irway, getting a little neck surgery, right? And I hope she's watching out the show. We wish her a speedy recovery.
Yes.
I understand that she's doing well, and we want to send our best out to Tara this morning here on Weber This Week. You look at what you and the husband are involved in. You've got the obstacle scenario that you guys run. You're involved in the 5K. You got a lot of things going on. Explain to us what's behind the scenes here as far as that 5K scenario goes.
Well, we are so excited about this year. We created this 5K with our partners 5 years ago, It's called Vino and the Beasts, and it's a 5K obstacle run through the vineyards. And people come, and they run. Some people dress up. They come with teams. They come alone. They walk. They run. It's for all ages. We do a kids run the night before, but it's at Three Brothers Winery, and Zugabee Vineyards partners with us, and it's just a blast. So it's August 13th this year, but we're really excited because it's our 5th year, and hopefully we'll have some special things for our runners. And when the runners sign up, they show up, they get a nice dry fit t-shirt, athletic t-shirt, they get an event wine glass, they get a passport to the after party, which gives them free wine tastings at 4 wineries and a microbrewery. So, and we have live music, some great live bands that come out, vendors, food vendors. So it's like a little mini wine festival afterwards. Not really mini. Yeah. It's full-blown wine festival.
Now, how many participants do you usually get in these? Does it vary?
We had about 350 our first year, and then we jumped to 1,000 our second year. And then since then, we've been growing each year. We're hoping to hit 2,000, a solid 2,000 this year.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Speaking of running, we're going to have Katie McIntyre from the Generations Bank coming in a couple of weeks talking about the 19K run, which will take place regarding women's suffrage.
Yes,
and they've done a spectacular job. I won't be in town because we'll be celebrating our anniversary, myself and Mary. But that's a big deal. That's coming up on May the 7th. May 7th. Which will be on a Saturday. And I know it well because that's our anniversary day. And also the fact that we'll be celebrating the big 5-0.
Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations.
I had black hair.
Happy anniversary.
I had black hair and I had a beard.
And Mary should be receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award on that day as well.
I knew that Jim was going to say something. I've been pretty lucky with Mary. I got to admit, she's Sicilian. Her maiden name is Palermo, but we've had a good time together. And I tell the line, and Jim's heard it 1,000 times. Maybe you haven't, but when I stepped out of line during our marriage, and there's been a few times where I probably stepped out of line.
No.
She has me watch the Godfather film, and the horse's head and bed scene. It's a classic scene, and but she's a good woman. We've had our ups and downs. You go through that in a marriage.
Yeah.
Not everything is perfect.
Nope.
There's always going to be some disagreements, and but we've been able to maintain it. And we got, knock on wood, a couple weeks to go before we count down. So we're looking forward to it. I won't be in town that week. We'll be gone for, I think, 3 or 4 days, but should be looking forward to having some good times.
Well, have fun. Happy anniversary.
It's
Congratulations.
amazing. Yeah, it is amazing.
Huge.
Well, it is. But so Jessica Lahr is our special guest from Geneva, and, of course, she's involved in the modeling side of it, and we're going to get you to give us an overview. Maybe the people didn't hear you when you first came on the show, but everybody, my daughter modeled when she was smaller growing up, and what was the passion behind you making the first move to model in front of a camera?
Oh, my gosh. Well,
Do you remember?
I wanted to model since I was little.
Okay.
And then I never did, and I had kids, and I was overweight, and then I got my health back on track. I lost 70 pounds.
70 pounds.
Yeah. And it just took people encouraging me to do it, just go for it. Just do it. You only live once. And so I did. And I got bit by the bug, and it's been an amazing journey since. It's been about 4 years, and I'm older, so I'm not walking runways in New York City, but I'm doing a lot of commercial work, and it's just been such a fun time. I love it. It's blessed to get to meet lots of people.
You said you're getting older?
Well, in the modeling industry, yes. They have 11-year-olds on the runway. So.
Okay. Older. Well, if you're old, I must be ancient, archaic. Old.
You got 3 rounds of golfing this weekend, though. That's not bad for a 70-year-old.
4.
4?
4. Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
4
Sunday.
days in a row.
4
That's
days.
what they play on tour.
He's a beast.
Man, I'll tell you what. Boy, the body is sore. I took these baby aspirins.
Yes.
I took 2 last night, 2 this morning. I don't know. This body is just, we had a good time. It was perfect weather. to play golf.
Oh, my gosh.
In the club.
Beautiful.
Jim's the president of our club, and they've done Doug and his crew down there have done a great job. The course has come back, Jim, from a lot of the issues they had a year ago.
It's in great shape.
It is in nice shape.
Through the end of April, everybody $25, 18 holes with the cart through the end of April. So good week this week to get down there.
The golf course is in beautiful shape. The greens are quite fast. I was impressed, and I've been a member down there for about 18 years. I think I've been out 2 years with a bad back injury. But other than that, I look forward to playing, but I got to take a day or two off. It's just, I can't keep going. I'll crumble. I'll fall on the ground. Jim will be having to come out with a cart and get me off it. But, I got to know where my max is. I think 4 straight days of 18 holes is enough for right now.
Yeah, that's
We'll be back. Mode. Yeah, I may go back on. I might go down here. There's one hole down there, and, Jim knows the hole, 17. It's a par 3, and, over the water. It's a little pond, and I'll tell you what, there's trees to the left side as you tee off, right across the pond. And they do come into play. I was telling the guys yesterday that I have played that hole, and I keep track of stupid data points when I play golf, believe it or not. I keep track of my pars. If I make a birdie, I make a track. I keep track of bad shots. I keep track of all these weird things on my little sheet of paper. And I went to the 17th tee, and I was in a close match with Brad Jones. He whipped me again, 3 straight. I've lost 3 straight to him, but I give him shots. I had a lead on him, and I blew it. And I got up to the 17th hole. He had a good shot on the green, and I'm thinking, I turned to John King. I said, John, before I hit the shot, I said, I've hit these trees left of that pond, over the pond, 6 straight times.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, clang, clang, clang. And Jim knows sometimes it goes back in the pond. Sometimes it goes left. Sometimes it goes straight down. I got over the shot, and I said to myself, don't pull the shot into the trees. I hit the trees again.
Oh, I didn't think that's how that was going to end.
And Jessica, Jim knows I ended up in the middle of 13 fairway on my tee shot. And it was just ugly. It was just ugly, and I just...
You only want to think about where you want to go when you golf. You don't think... If you say don't hit it there, that's where it's going.
You're right.
Because you put that mental image in your mind.
Man.
Power of intention.
Right. That's right, Jeff.
You can tell by me interviewing you that I was not a Harvard graduate. Hey, listen, let's pay some bills. We're thrilled, and I want to send tribute before we roll the list of sponsors. I've been fortunate. I don't take enough time to thank all the great sponsors that make this show possible. We just added on Seneca Metals. We added on Gary at the McGee Diner, who's smiling ear to ear with Del Lago getting ready to rock and roll. Mm-hmm. I just want to spend a minute and say thank you before we roll your ad. Thank you for being a sponsor of this show. I've been doing this a long time. Without you, the sponsor of this show wouldn't be possible. So thanks again. Let's roll the film. Cayuga Lake National Bank. Visit Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. Steve Wadhams and Wadhams Enterprises, your local employer of choice. Proud supporter of Weber This Week and local athletics. Fill out an application at wadhams.com. The Gold Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historic downtown Seneca Falls landmark. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-price appetizers. Learn more at thegouldhotel.com. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the McGee Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country fresh home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at mcgeediner.com. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. The Seneca Falls Country Club, awesome 18-hole layout, open to the public, and a 12-month payment plan for members. Come try to par the par 4 16th, the toughest hole in central New York. Check out SenecaFallsCountryClub.com. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at NewarkPilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com. Rich Rickey and Wilson Press, a fine sponsor of Weber This Week. Welcome back, everybody. It's a Dog with you in the kennel on a gorgeous Monday. Hope you all had a nice weekend, and I don't know about you, but weather's not going to be that bad this week. A little shower activity, maybe 60-ish during the week, but hey, better than 35.
Sure.
By the way, speaking of my friend Jessica, her show returns to FingerLakes1.com. It'll return a week from this Wednesday. That'll be the 27th of April. FLX Weekly, and I know, Jess, you always enjoy doing that show, and look forward to seeing your return.
Thank you.
It's like the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
All right, so Jessica's show returns on the 27th. Newark Pilots, we saw their ad. Hey, baseball be soon. We're going to have the Omens come in. Hopefully we get Leslie in here. We getting tired of seeing Bob. Just kidding, Bob, if you're watching this morning. Bob Oman and Leslie are expected to be here, I think, mid-May. We got an interesting show next week. Mike Davis, the president of the trade unions of the Del Lago Casino, overseeing all the plumbers, the electricians, and so forth. Boy, they're going to be a bunch of busy bees, won't they, in the next several weeks, several months, I should say. Mike Davis expected to be here next week. He's going to send some pictures to Jim so we can show you. And I think there's just a video that was just released as well, and Jim will have some of that stuff so we can show while Mike's being interviewed by me. Mike Davis expected to be here next week. He's the president of the trade unions. And we're also looking down the road to get Mr. Babinski, the new executive general manager, and he just hired his assistant. We are expecting to get them someday down the road. We're working on trying to schedule them. Those are the two new executives overseeing the entire casino operation. And again, I've had calls in, and we were working on trying to set up a date. So those two gentlemen hopefully will be here on the couch talking about the grand opening and what happens out at Del Lago. It's pretty amazing. If you haven't been out there, folks, you got to check it out. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you don't know where it is, if you're outside the Seneca Falls area, come into Waterloo exit 41, come up, leave the exit, pay your toll if you got Easy Pass, but take a left, not a right, a left. And it's right over that bridge to the right. You can't miss it. As Jim knows, he's driving down the thruway. He sees the cranes and everything else out there. So it's amazing the amount of work they've done out there. So we're expecting to get them on as well. And it's going to be pretty neat. And I think it's going to do a lot for the area. I know a lot of the area businesses, Jess, are going to be excited about bringing this Las Vegas-style casino to the area.
Absolutely.
I never thought I'd see a day where we'd have a Las Vegas-style casino a couple of miles from here, but it's pretty neat. And I know it's going to hire a lot of people, and it's going to put a lot of money into the area. And I would expect a lot more developments as time goes on. Yeah. Hey, Burn Dairy's opening up out there. They're building a new, and that's coming up fast.
Oh, great.
Across from Nice and Easy there on the way to the thruway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I haven't been out there in about a week or so, but it's got to be going crazy. So, hey, your work is continuing, and you're on a fast pace. Now, how often do you do modeling jobs? Like every other week, every month? Or do you get booked and you turn down some of the bookings, or how does that work?
I get castings all the time.
Okay.
But sometimes I can't make the audition. Sometimes I know I'm not available on the date that they're shooting.
Sure.
So it's so sporadic. It's definitely not a full-time income, which is why we have so many other things going on.
That's fine.
But it's great. I mean, I've had, I think, 2 bookings in the last 6 weeks, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're in upstate New York, so I didn't really know there was a market. I didn't even know they shot commercials and things like that in upstate New York before I, pursued the industry. But yeah, I mean, people are busy. My agents are constantly sending me castings and audition information.
And by the way, people who don't realize it, but you should tell them that when you go do a shoot, it isn't one of these 20 minutes and you're out of there.
Oh, my gosh.
I would guess it's got to be hours, right? How many takes and takes and takes and takes?
It's hurry up and wait. My husband, he didn't sign up to do this. My agency was after him. And I said, you only live once. Just do it. Why not? And you get paid for it, so why not?
That's right.
So, and he's been booked for quite a few things. He's been pretty busy, and he had an 8-hour shoot a couple weeks ago, and he came home and he was like, that was a long time. That was a lot of work. I said, it's not as easy as it looks, is it?
No.
And a lot of times you're uncomfortable, or you're holding something, or you're, I don't know. It's funny. it's different.
And I must ask you about the political scene. As you know, the New York primary's tomorrow. My wife's one of those poll workers. She'll be at the desk. Starting tomorrow. Crazy election series. Season. It's unbelievable. Hillary, I think, is going to get it on the Democratic side. I don't know about the Republican side. It is so screwed up. And I didn't think I'd ever go through a series of, a year where we elect a president with all the, all the ridiculous comments being made by everybody. It's just scary that we're going to get one of these people be the president of the United States. Sometimes it's really weird, but it is politics, and they say politics can be dirty, and I guess they're right. Hey, folks, before we get back to Jessica for a couple of closing comments, I have a couple of comments that I want to share with you, whether you like to hear them or not or see me comment about them. But there are two things that stick in my craw, and I like to, as Jimmy knows, I like to just vent when I'm in the mood to vent. I've already vented via my email account. But I got to tell you, regarding high school basketball, this is not my first rodeo. I still do a few games for Jimmy, not as many as some of the youngins do. I've been doing that a long time, but I still get out and enjoy putting on the headset and calling games. In all the years that I've been broadcasting, I like to look at certain players that turn me on and excite me about watching them play, the way they play. Are they a good kid? Are they a sarcastic, egotistical kid? Do they have game? Are they smooth? Are they versatile? Can they score? They have all the ingredients. There's a kid that I always thought, first time I saw him, I turned to my broadcast partner and said, that kid is a sensational player. Tyler Norris, North Rolls-Wilkin. Nicest kid you'd ever want to meet. And I understand that his buddy Garrett Hoyt, who I think the world of as well, made the Fab Five. Who didn't make the Fab Five?
The Finger Lakes times Fab Five. That's right. Top five boys.
Yeah. It just blew me away that Tyler Norris wasn't selected. In all the years I've been following high school basketball and working the games, I was shocked. And I'm still stunned that he did not make it. And my broadcast partners are chiming in after I sent an email to 48 people that they agree with me. How do you leave him off? Yes, there were games where he had 6 or 8 points, but there were games that he had 23. You got to remember, if Jim Centercrope is defending against NRW and playing that team, who was a great team, by the way, the first thing that Jim would be telling his players, we got to stop Tyler Norris.
Yeah, Nick Klein's another one from Red Creek who I thought really got snubbed. Nick Klein's a very good player from Red Creek.
Just blew me away. I'm just so saddened to think that Tyler didn't get Fab Five.
Tyler's a very unselfish player, too. And I'm sure he's happy to defer to his senior teammate, Garrett Hoyt. Yeah. But North Rolls-Wilkin had a team with 5 seniors, and Tyler Norris deferred quite a bit. Next year, you're going to see that kid put up big numbers.
Yeah. So anyways.
And I wasn't too, I don't like to necessarily say guys don't deserve it, but the kid from Bloomfield, Hayden Ward, that made it, he's a good player, but you're talking about taking the 5 best. I think you put Norris and and the Nick Klein kid from Red Creek in there, and maybe take out Hayden Ward and Garrett Hoyt, who's a real good player, real good golfer too.
Oh, I know.
And then, they took a kid from Pelmac, Brandon Hawkins, who's great, deserving, but there's also a couple other guys on that team. It's really tough when you're just picking 5. Nobody from Minders made it. Yeah. And then, they also, Ben Deming, the big guy for Waterloo, that you think might have made it. But it's tough when you put these lists together. We do it for the Upstate News podcast, and we get a lot of negative feedback. Yeah.
I know. Well, I don't care if you're negative feedback on my comment. I still think Tyler should have got it. I think he was an outstanding player and one of the nicest kids I've ever met and had a chance to interview during our broadcasts out there. Just a personal opinion. And as we stay in the world of opinions, I would not be myself if I didn't make an opinion about Mr. Ron Elcock, the mayor of Geneva. I don't know if he watches this show regularly or if people up in the Geneva check me out. I am saddened to hear and to follow his progress or lack thereof of transparency regarding allowing the citizens of Geneva. What sticks in my craw is just recently he decided for the people that come in to speak, which is part of the democratic process. Myself, Jessica, Jimmy could speak at the Seneca Falls town meeting and go in front of them. And what usually happens, in most cases, you're given the afforded ability to get up at the beginning of the meeting, based on when you submit your request to speak. Jim gets 3 minutes, I get 3 minutes, Jessica gets 3 minutes. Of course, I would take 33, but that's okay. My point is they're always afforded the opportunity to speak at the beginning of the meeting. And that would allow the councilmen and the trustees to hear the points that Jessica's making regarding garbage pickup, regarding anything, okay? Regarding anything. It wouldn't make a difference to comment. You have a right to make your comments. And that was always the beginning of the meeting. For some odd reason, the mayor of Geneva, Ron Elcock, has decided not to do this anymore, to allow the speakers to go at the end of the meeting. Ludicrous. Because in my view, Ron Elcock wouldn't be sitting at the mayor's chair without the citizens. And secondly, Ron Elcock should remember his most recent election. He was only a winner by 13 votes over Jackie Augustine. I just think it's absurd. So hopefully somebody's checking me out this morning. They can pass the word on to Ron Elcock, the mayor of Geneva, the esteemed mayor, to change his opinion and allow speakers to speak first, not the back of the bus, and wait till the end of the meeting. That, to me, as my wife Mary would say, who has said it to me about 16,000 times in 50 years of marriage, that's stupid, Ron. That's stupid. Jess, good seeing you, honey, and it's always good to see you. Hope you come back down the road.
I think Jess should run. I mean, you've been in your.
She got nothing else to do.
In your role, as Mrs. New York America, you were really out in the community, getting to see a lot of nonprofits, especially, and seeing the other side of things. And would you ever consider running for city council in Geneva or anything like that?
Not at this stage.
Where would you find the time?
Yeah, not at this stage. We have a lot going on.
I was going to say, I
know.
We
have other businesses too.
Yeah.
Perhaps down the road. And we have 2 little boys, that keep us on our
And you got a dog named Blue.
And we have a new dog named Blue.
Blue by you.
An old English bulldog. He is so cute. So, but thank you, Jim. Maybe someday. I never say never.
Well, that's good. Well, okay. Well, hey, you never know. And by the way, I'm going to put your name in for consideration when I decide to retire from doing this show. That you can sit here in front of the guests.
Thank you.
I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire in 13 years. I think I'll be 83.
13 years.
Yeah, I'll be 83.
There you go.
Maybe.
Might as well just keep going. Just keep going.
Yeah, like that ever-ready battery, right? Like that bunny.
Yeah,
Hey, it's always good talking to you, Jess. Continued success to you and your family.
Thank you.
And someday I will meet your husband.
Yes.
I see his picture all the time. I don't think I've ever met him.
No.
So
make that happen.
Well, tell him, give me a time and give him a time, and I'll meet him at the UPS store.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Jessica Lahr, a lot of class. She's got it all, baby. So we wish her nothing but the best in her family and her dog named Blue. So, hey, next week, folks, we are expected to have Mike Davis, the president of the trade unions, working on Del Lago. And I'll tell you something, folks, those busy little plumbers and those electricians and everybody's going to be working like busy bees inside of that casino to bring it into reality. And I guess everybody's getting excited about it. Well, not everybody. There's some people still opposed to it, but most people are excited about it. I know I am, and I know my wife is, and I think it'll be good for the area, regardless of what other people think. Take care, everybody. Thanks to Jessica Lahr for joining us this morning on Weber This Week. Next week, Mike Davis, my special guest. Until then, enjoy the week, everybody. Take care.